morning students, welcome to Energy Conversion Lab. I am Assistant Professor V. Sushant Kumar, Department of Mechanical Engineering, and along with me I have instructor Raju Kuguji. So in today's lab we are going to discuss about two-stroke petrol engine. Aim of the experiment is a performance test on two-stroke petrol engine. We are conducting this experiment to find following parameters. So all these terms we have discussed in our previous semester in applied thermodynamics subject. So that theory concept we will apply here. We will conduct the experiment and we will find the parameters like brake power, thermal efficiency, volumetric efficiency, mechanical efficiency, specific fuel consumption, and air fuel ratio. This is how the observation panel looks for two-stroke petrol engine. So here at the bottom we have the engine, and all this whatever you are seeing on this panel, all this will give the reading. For example, this is the burette, and this is the U-tube manometer, and this knob here, this is accelerator to increase and decrease the RPM of the engine, and this will give us this shows the RPM of the engine, and this is a temperature indicator, and here we have voltmeter indicator, and this is ammeter indicator, and the switch that you see here, so this is the loading switch. Each switch consists of 200 watts. So in this fashion we have 10 watts. We will see in detail about all these separately in upcoming slides. So this is the engine part. This is what you are seeing here. This is the engine, and this is the generator. Okay. So the engine and generator is connected with the help of the pulley that you are seeing here. Okay, this is the pulley. So when the engine starts, it is connected to the generator. So generator produces the current, and that current is consumed by the resistance coils. So each resistance coil consists of 200 watts, and we have in this fashion we have 10 resistance coils. So this is how we are going to load the engine. So this structure that you see here, this is called as air box. Air is not directly supplied to the engine. First air enters into this box, and from this box air is supplied to the engine through this pipe. So at the entrance of this air box there is a small opening, or there is a orifice. So to the orifice a knob is connected, which this pipe connects to the U-tube manometer, so that we get the flow rate of the air. And you also see a connection here. This is a thermocouple which measures the inlet temperature of the air. So this structure is U-tube manometer. So inside we have a glass tube in U shape, and in that we have water. This is water. Okay. So when the engine starts, when air starts flowing to the engine, so the pipe that I had shown you in the previous slide, which connects to the orifice in the air box, it is connected here, and one end of this pipe is open to the atmosphere. So when the engine starts, air pushes the water, and there is a rise in water level. So we are going to consider the difference of height in the left and right limb. If I take this as right limb and this as left limb, so when the air pushes the water, so there is a rise of water here, there is a drop in height of water. So we are going to consider the difference of height of the water levels in both the limbs. This will give us the flow rate of the air. And you also see a knob here. So when I turn this knob in clockwise direction, I am going to increase the RPM of the engine, and when I turn this knob in anti-clockwise direction, I am going to reduce the RPM of engine. It is same like our two-wheelers accelerator, how it works. So here we have a knob. So this is the burette. Petrol from the tank is supplied first to the burette, and from the burette it is supplied to the engine. So here you can see these are the valves. We have 3 valves here. So one to control the flow of petrol from the tank to the burette. We have two valves here, and this valve controls the flow of petrol from the burette to the engine. When you are taking the reading, a time taken for 10 cc of fuel consumption, so that is explained in detail in further slides. So this is the voltmeter reading, and this will give us the ammeter reading. And the switches that you see here, these are the loading switches. So at the back of the panel we have resistance coils. In next upcoming video you can see that. So each switch, it consists of 200 watts. So in this fashion we have 10 switches. So total load that we can apply on this engine is 2 kilowatts. So when I switch on the first switch, it means that I am applying a load of 200 watts or 0.2 kilowatts. So when I switch on two switches, it means that I am applying a load of 0.4 kilowatts. How to apply the load, all that will be explained later. This will show us RPM of the engine, and this display will show us the temperature. So here T1 is air inlet temperature and T2 is exhaust gas temperature. So this is the observation table. So whatever we discussed in the previous slides, whatever pictures we saw, so all those pictures we are going to put them in terms of table. So this is the load applied, RPM, air inlet temperature, exhaust gas temperature, manometer reading, that is H1 minus H2. Here H1, H2 refers to right limb, left limb. The difference of water level in those limbs will give us the delta H. Then time taken for 10 cc of fuel consumption. So how to take the reading for this is explained later. And ammeter reading, voltmeter reading. So among all this, very important is the time taken for 10 cc of fuel consumption is important. You need to be very cautious when you are taking the reading for this. Otherwise all the readings are displayed directly. You can directly note down the readings. So here load applied, maximum load that I can apply is 2 kilowatts and the minimum load is 0.2 kilowatts. Now in the upcoming slides I will take you to the test rig and I'll explain again in each and every part separately, and we will see how to conduct the experiment and take the readings.
Good morning students, welcome to the energy lab. So in today's lab we will study two-stroke petrol engine. Okay, the aim of this experiment is a performance analysis on two-stroke petrol engine. So before going to the experiment conduction, I would like to give you the introduction about two-stroke as well as so what are the readings we need to take about this reading panel. Okay, so as you know, two-stroke, there are two strokes. So one is the compression stroke and second one is the expansion stroke. So there is no suction stroke and there is no exhaust stroke. Okay, so now here in this experiment we are going to find the efficiency, volumetric efficiency, mechanical efficiency and brake thermal efficiency, okay, and various other parameters along with those efficiency parameters. So now before starting the engine and looking at the variation of the results, I would like to introduce you about each and every part. Okay, so whatever you are seeing in this panel, this is your observation table. The first logic that you should remember in this lab is, so whatever the readings that you see, whatever the names that you are seeing, that is your observation table. So if you can remember what this panel contains, then that becomes your observation table. So now I will explain you about each and every part individually, then later on we will see how to control. This is the fuel tank, it contains petrol. So from the fuel tank, the fuel is supplied to the burette. So inside you are seeing a structure, tube like structure. So this is the burette. The fuel, unlike our two-wheelers or four-wheelers, so fuel is not directly supplied to the engine here. Okay, since we need to measure the flow rate of the fuel, okay, we are supplying the petrol first to the burette. So from the burette, the fuel is supplied to the engine. Control the flow of fuel here. So we have the valves. We have one valve here. Okay. So if I open this, this is the closed position and this is the open position. You just have to remember the logic. Okay, when you come to the lab, when the valve position is along with the pipe, the axis of this valve position along with the pipe, it is open. Okay. So when it is perpendicular, it is closed. Okay, this you have to remember. So now it is open. Okay, when the two valves are open, the fuel starts flowing into the burette. Initially, let this be closed. Okay, now the fuel starts flowing into the burette. So now, when I start the engine, I am going to on this. So the fuel starts flowing from the burette to the engine. So this is about fuel supply system. Okay, now let's coming down to start any engine, we need air and fuel. So now we have seen the fuel part. Now let's look at the air part, oxygen part. So here you can see a box here. So this is actually the air box, and you can see a structure here. This is actually the we have the orifice here. We can just come that side and show you. Okay, so this is the air box, and here you can see a small opening here. This is the orifice. Okay, and it is connected to the U-tube manometer. So this is the U-tube manometer, okay, which is connected to the air box here. So when the engine starts, as the air flows, there is a fluctuation. So inside U-tube manometer we have water. Okay, very important Viva question here. So in this U-tube manometer we have water. So the water level fluctuates. We are going to take that height delta H to calculate the flow rate of air. Then we are going to put that into the equation. Okay, we will get the flow rate of air. Okay, this is about the air supply. And you can see a knob here, cylindrical knob. Okay, this is to accelerate engine speed control. If I rotate this in anti-clockwise direction, I'm going to reduce the RPM of engine. If I rotate this in clockwise direction, then it increases the RPM of engine. It is nothing but accelerator. And here, this is the temperature reading panel. You can just see here. T1 refers to air inlet temperature, and T2 refers to exhaust temperature. So how the air inlet temperature is measured? You can look here down. Here we have the sensor. So bring it close. Okay, here we have the sensor. This will measure air inlet temperature. So now, and we have one more sensor here. So this is one more sensor. Okay, here this measures the exhaust gas temperature. Okay, both the temperatures are given here. Okay, we have to just rotate this now. Channel 1, channel 2, you will get the temperatures. This is about how to measure the temperature. So now, when the engine starts, okay, now it's showing 0 because engine has not yet started. It is the RPM indicator. When the engine starts, at what speed the engine is running, it is shown here in terms of RPM. This becomes your tabular column. So what is the tabular column? First one, serial number. Second one, so what is the time taken for a consumption of 10 cc of fuel. So how we are going to calculate 10 cc of fuel? So what you are going to do? So when you want to calculate the fuel consumption rate, you are going to shut off the fuel supply from the tank to the burette. Okay, now what happens? Whatever fuel available in this burette, it starts flowing into the engine. There is no inlet, only there is outlet of the fuel from the burette. Okay, so its level starts dropping. Suppose it is at this level. When I shut off this fuel supply from the tank, the level of fuel starts coming down. Okay, we will give you the stopwatch. Okay, we have to measure. Okay, you can take any reference reading, whichever is convenient for you. For either for 5 cc, 10 cc or 15 cc drop in the fuel level, what is the time taken? So that will give you the flow rate of the fuel. Once that is done, very important is you have to again start supplying the fuel from the tank. If you don't on this valve, okay, if you don't start this valve, whatever fuel is there in this burette, it all goes to the engine and it dries up. Okay, no supply of fuel will be there, so engine stops. Again, you have to start your experiment from the beginning. So keep that in mind as soon as you take the reading on this valve. Okay, so your tabular column contains a time taken for 10 cc of fuel consumption and difference in height, and inlet air temperature, exhaust air temperature, and RPM. Okay, so as I told you in the beginning, whatever reading that you see here, that becomes your tabular column. Okay, now engine has started. Okay, now how to load the engine? In case of in our day-to-day life, the weight of the persons sitting on the engine is load on the either two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, weight of the people sitting. But here we don't have that arrangement. So what we have made is, so there is a generator here. This is the generator. Okay, so here we are going to connect the engine to the generator. Okay, when the engine starts, since the engine is connected to the generator through this pulley, it generates the electricity. This electricity is supplied to the coils. Here we have resistance coils. You can just see. So bring it close. So whatever you are seeing inside, they are resistance coils, and each coil is connected to a switch here. Okay, so there are about 10 coils here. Okay, here, and each coil is connected to the switch here. So total watt is 200 watt. Each coil is 200 watt, and there are 10 switches. So when I on this button, when I on this, the resistance, a coil of here, okay, one of them gets activated, 200 watt, it starts consuming that much of watts. Okay, that's much of power. Okay, that is the load on the engine. So if I on two buttons, that means I am putting 400 watts load on the engine. So when the engine, suppose engine is running at 1000 RPM, I will put 200 watt load on the engine. Now what happens? The engine speed drops. Say it drops to 800. Now what we have to do is, we have to accelerate the engine. We have to increase its RPM again to 1000. Okay, once it reaches 1000, wait for some time. Okay, then you start taking all the readings. What is the time taken for 10 cc consumption of fuel, and what is the difference of height in the right and left limb, and what are the air inlet temperature, exhaust temperature, and what is the voltmeter reading, and what is the ammeter reading. So all these readings you need to take. And next I am going to switch on the second, means I am going to increase the load to the 400 watt. Okay, again the RPM will reduce. Again we have to accelerate, bring it back to 1000 RPM that we had set previously before loading, and wait for some time, and again start taking the readings. Okay, in this way you need to take readings for all the load, or at least you need to take reading for 6 to 7 readings, so that you get a graph. It will be easy for us to analyze. This is about the two-stroke petrol engine experiment.